Yes, good morning, students.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning. Morning, everyone. Yes, today we have webinar, and for that you all have to attend that webinar at 11 o'clock. So I think 12 o'clock, no? That webinar is at 12 o'clock. So you have to attend my class, take some break, and after that, you have to attend that webinar. That is with regard to evidence. Okay, so I suggest everyone to attend that webinar, okay, after my class. Yes, so in the last class, I hope that link of that webinar has been shared with you all.
No, madam.
Link has not been shared with you. Who is your class teacher?
We don't know, madam.
Okay. Okay, I will share, no worries. Okay. Yeah. Yes. I've shared it in the group. So before 15 minutes you all have to join at 12 o'clock. Okay, so 11:45 you all have to join. Okay, so that is the link, and you can go also through the YouTube. Okay, for e-certificates you have to join the Telegram channel, and that Telegram channel link will be in the Google Forms. Okay, so once you fill the Google Forms, at the end you will get the link, and with that link you have to join the Telegram channel for e-certificates. Okay, hope those all e-certificates will help you all in your career. So it is necessary that you all have to join the Telegram group. Okay, so yes, we will again start our class. Why? Because in the last class there was no PPT, and still I have sorry, yeah, still I have taken the class on recognition. So before recognition, this the elements of state and the rights and duties of the state we have seen, right? So here rights and duties of the states we have seen, and these rights and duties will be applicable to sovereign states and not fully sovereign states. Okay, so these both states will enjoy the rights and duties. Okay, so non-typical states are those type of states wherein they will not going to interfere in the issues of the other country, and they will not take part in the groupism in the field of public international law. They have every kind of issues, and that will be resolved in their limitation itself. Okay, so we are not talking about the rights and duties of non-typical states, but we are talking about the rights and duties of sovereign states and not so fully sovereign states. Okay, so they are called as dependent states. So in the last class we have done with all the kind of rights, that is right of independence, right of sovereignty, and the right of territorial jurisdiction, right of self defense, right of sovereign equality. So after that, when we talk about the rights, and there is always parallelly we have to observe certain kind of duties. In that, the first duty to the state is the duty to refrain from threat or the use of force, and the duty to settle the international disputes by peaceful means, and the duty not to interfere in the affairs of the other states, and the duty to cooperate with another state, the duty of a state to fulfill its obligations in good faith. So these are certain of the duties of the sovereign and not so fully sovereign states. And apart from that, in your book we have seen the economic rights and duties no paragraph I have seen. So I have included these economic rights and economic duties of the sovereign and not so fully sovereign states. Okay, so these though I have explained in the class, and they are very easy. And when we talk about the non-typical states, there are three kinds are there. The first one is Holy See, the second one is neutralized state, and the third one is free cities. Okay, so these also we have seen. So there ends the classification of states. That topic has got over. Okay, so in the last class we have started with the recognition. So recognition, this though I have already explained. Still for your reference, I will do it once again. That is recognition is it is no a joint effort of all the states so that they can recognize one another. So when whether when I say this kind of sentence, then lot of question comes, then why it is a unilateral act, why the recognition is important, whether recognition is itself is everything under the international law. So I will explain all these questions. In recognition, when one state originates, so then a question comes how the state originates, right? So state will have its origination when it will have all the elements of statehood. So what are the elements of statehood? The first one is population, territory, and government. So these are all the certain elements of statehood. And when the state has, when a particular territory has all these elements, then the state will come into existence, and after coming into existence it has to enter the international community, right? So when state wants to enter the international community, there exist two methods. The first one is either the state has to announce itself in the international community that it has all the elements of statehood. So it is announcing itself as a state. This is the first method. And the second method is all the members of the international community has to recognize a particular territory as a state, and they have to announce that this is a state and which is existed, and they know that this state is existed. This is a formal confirmation that the particular territory named a particular state is existed, and this is a confirmation in front of international community, right? So because of that, this recognition process is important. So when we talk about recognition, recognition is a unilateral declaration, and it is a declaration in front of the international community, and it can be in any other format. Say for example, it can be explicit format, or it can be implicit format. So what is explicit? Explicit is expressing in words, okay? And the implicit means like you will recognize the state because of its actions, okay, or its functions. So these are the two methods wherein recognition will be important in the international community. All the 196 states under the international community will be recognized either by the explicit method or by the implicit method. So once if I give recognition to another state, then what happens? Whether if I'm not recognizing the other state, what is the laws under the public international law? So if I'm recognizing one state, then there arises the rights and duties in the international community. So that whatever the rights and duties that we have seen here, right? So these are the certain of the advantages if the state is been recognized under the international law. If the state is not been recognized, means whether it is existed or no. The next question comes whether the existence is there or no. So the answer for this is the state is definitely existent, but it will not have the rights and duties under the public international law. So a person is existed. If I recognize the person as a citizen, then only the rights and privileges will be governed in our countries, right? In our country. But if we don't recognize the person as a citizen, then he will not be having the rights and duties. Can you quote one example in the domestic level of our country wherein a person is recognized and wherein the rights and duties have not been given? ನಾ ಹೇಳಲಿಕತ್ತಿದ್ದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕತ್ತದಲ್ಲ, ಭಾಳ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ನಾಗ ನಾ ಹೇಳಲಿಕತ್ತೇನ್ರಿ. ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೂ ತನಕ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂತವ್ದು ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ನಮ್ದು ಡೊಮೆಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ದಾಗ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬಹುದು? Students, I'm audible?
Yes, madam.
Yes. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಆಯ್ತು, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಸೊ. ಸೊ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನಾಟ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಟು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ and who will stay back in the borders of a country. Okay, for them what we call them as? ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೇವ್ರಿ? Students, there should be interaction at least, yes or no. ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಓದುವಾಗ ನಿಮಗ್ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಯ ಇದೆ, ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ರಿ. ನಮ್ ದೇಶದವ್ರ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಶಿಪ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರ ಅವ್ರೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, 2019 ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗಿಂತ ಮೊದಲು ಅವ್ರು ನಮ್ ದೇಶದೊಳಗ್ 11 years ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 11 years ನಾವು ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲೇನಾಗ್ತದ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 11 years they have to apply to the central government that they wanted to take the citizenship of our country. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಎಟ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರ 11 years ಸ್ಟೇ, ಅನ್ಇಂಟರಪ್ಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇ ನಮ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿನಾಗ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರಷ್ಟೇ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅವರು 11 ವರ್ಷ ನಮ್ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೂನು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ಅವರಿಗೆ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಗ BPL ಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಫುಡ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬೀನ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದೋಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ who wanted to take the citizenship by naturalization. They have to wait for 11 years, and after 11 years of uninterrupted stay in India, they have to apply to the central government, and then central government will going to give the citizenship. So hingenagtada, under the public international law, the state will be existed. So what's the importance of recognition is, once the recognition is been done by the other countries or by itself by the country, then the rights and privileges will be given under the international law. So the question comes, whether the recognition of a state and recognition of a government is same or similar. See here, the recognition of government and the recognition of a state, both are different. Recognition of a state will be considered, like I have given you one example, that recognizing a particular tree. When we recognize a particular type of government, that is recognizing the leaves and the flowers of the tree. The leaves and the flowers may come and go, but the state will remain. That is the difference between recognition of a government and recognition of a state. Students often confuse their questions in the examination with regard to recognition of a government and recognition of a state. Both are different. Okay, so next we will move to the other slide that talks about, according to international law, recognition is just the formal expression of the status of the particular state, and this acknowledgement will be done by the other existing states, and these states, they have to recognize that the particular state will be having the attributes of the statehood, and these attributes, when that will be recognized by the other state, the process of this will be called as a recognition. So here, in this recognition process, what is required is the state should satisfy to all the states under the public international law with regard to the attributes of statehood. So then question comes whether the recognition itself is a conclusive proof. Then the answer for this is no, the recognition is not a conclusive proof. Whether the other states recognize the particular newly born state or no, the state will continue to have its existence, but its existence will not be referred under the public international law. So then question comes, what is the importance? That I have already told you. Here, once the state is recognized, the equality status will be given under the United Nations, and all states will be considered equal, whether it is newly born or it has no lot of experience under the public international law. So apart from giving the equality status, there should be, rights and duties also will be given under the public international law. And once the state realizes itself that it cannot suffice itself, okay, so it cannot satisfy all its needs by itself, then obviously it has to take the help of other country. And when it wants to take the help of other country, the recognition of particular state is important. This slide is also over in the last class. So legal effect, so once it has been recognized, then what all things will follow, or what all things will flow. The first is, when the state acquires the recognition, it will be bestowed with all the rights, duties, immunities, and obligations. So the second is, it will enter into contract with the other country. It will going to enter the treaties with other country. It can enjoy the rights and privileges. It will it can file the case, and it can be sued by the other country, and it will become the member of United Nations organization. It will have capacity to enter into the diplomatic relationship with other states. So these are the certain of the advantages, or these are the certain of the legal effects which are recognized under the public international law. So then why we have to talk about recognition and what its advantage, that can be depicted in the next slide. So here this slide will tell you that, see there, if there exists only one country, if that country is itself there in the public international law, then no other, with no other country it can enter into contract or a treaty. So if it recognizes the other country called Slovenia, then it will again recognizes the Germany and France. So like this, the international community will expand. So one country, if it recognizes the other country, and obviously the other country will also recognize that process, and by this there is an increase in the number of members under the United Nations. So thereby there exists the lot of states under the international law. So by this we have now, I think, 195, more than 195 states are there in the international community, and they have all been developed through this process only. See, I have told you there are types of recognition. There is a recognition of a state, and there is a recognition of a government. And this example also I have given you that tree is like a state and it is being recognized, but the flowers and leaves are considered as the government recognition of a government. And when we recognize the state, it will have its permanent existence. But when we recognize the particular state, it can change at any time. It can change by lawfully, or it can change by unlawfully, or any other methods also. Like as we have seen, sometime overthrown governments will be have de facto, de jure. So these are all the types of government wherein under the public international law, all these type of governments will be existed. So sometime there will be temporary temporary government or governments in exile will be there, that will automatically can shift to de facto or de jure government, right? So like that, once if there is a, we have no, sometime we have coalition government, sometime we have majority party government, right? So ours is a, you know, parliamentary form of government. So these are certain of the type of government wherein these are formed according to the legal procedure, or sometime it can be formed through the unlawful method. So one type of government if it is existed, it doesn't mean that all the time that type of government only should exist in that particular territory. That can be changed, but the state cannot be changed once it has been recognized under the public international law. So here one example that we can surrender, what we can refer here, under the recognition of government may be lawfully withheld or withdrawn. With this we will go for a case here. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ರೀ, ಅಫ್ಘಾನಿಸ್ತಾನದಾಗ ಒಸಾಮಾ ಬಿನ್ ಲಾಡನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತದ? ಒಸಾಮಾ ಬಿನ್ ಲಾಡನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್? ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ ಅವ್ರ ಅಂತದು? ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನದ ಗೊತ್ತದ ನಿಮಗ? ಸಿ ಒಸಾಮಾ ಅಲ್ ಖೈದಾ ಚೀಫ್, ಯಾ. ಅವ್ರ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ್ರಿ, ಫಾರ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮು ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲಾಸ್ದಾಗ ಅಲ್ ಖೈದಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತಮ್ದೊಂದು ಟೆರರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅವ್ರ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಇಡೀ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ನಾಗ. ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಇಯರ್ 2001, ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ 20 years ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ ಅವಾಗ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಹಂಟ್ ಆಗದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲಾಸ್ದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ಗಳು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾವು. ಅವಾಗ ವಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರ, ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಒಸಾಮಾ ಬಿನ್ ಲಾಡನ್ ಅವರನ್ನ ಸರೆಂಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ಅಫ್ಘಾನಿಸ್ತಾನದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ತಾಲಿಬಾನ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ಒಸಾಮಾ ಬಿನ್ ಲಾಡನ್ ಅವ್ರನ್ನು ಅದನ್ನು ಸರೆಂಡರ್ ಮಾಡುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ದಟ್ ಅವ್ರ ಅಲ್ ಖೈದಾ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು ಟೆರರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅವರು ಲಾಂಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಸೆಟ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸರೆಂಡರ್ ಒಸಾಮಾ ಬಿನ್ ಲಾಡನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಎಟ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ, ಸೌದಿ ಅರೇಬಿಯಾ ಮತ್ತೆ ಯುನೈಟೆಡ್ ಅರಬ್ ಎಮಿರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ, ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಅಫ್ಘಾನಿಸ್ತಾನಿಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ವಾಪಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಅರೈಸಸ್, ಇದು ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದಂತ ಕೇಸು ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲಾ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತದಂದ್ರ, ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತನ ನಾನೇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ದೆ, ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಬಟ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ರಿಯಲ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆತಂದ್ರೆ, ಎರಡು ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಅಫ್ಘಾನಿಸ್ತಾನ ತಾಲಿಬಾನದ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅದು ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಅವ್ರು ತಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅದು ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಅವ್ರು ವಾಪಸ್ ತಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರು. ಸೊ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಬಹುದೇನೋ. ಸೊ ದ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಇಸ್, ಒನ್ಸ್ ದ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿನ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಟ್ ಬಿ ಟೇಕನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್? Once the recognition is been given to the particular government, that is Taliban government, the question comes whether it can be taken back. So idar answer ಏನದ, ಇದರ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಮುಂದೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. Yes, for this moment what I can say is, yes, once the recognition is been given, it is not the permanent, it is always the temporary form. If there is a manhunt or if there is a lot of a disturbance to the public international relations, then at that time the recognition of a government, the recognition of a state, both can be withdrawn. Okay, so here we will going to see certain of the theories, and here the theories of recognition has been divided into two ways. The first one is constitutive theory and the second one is declarative theory or evidentiary theory. So let's see what these theories will talk about. The constitutive theory, what it says that once there is an existence of all the essentials of statehood, then the political community should recognize that newly born entity under the family of nations. So this is constitutive theory. So here first and foremost condition is that particular entity, that newly born entity should satisfy to all the existing member states that there exist all the conditions of statehood. Then all the other states states have to admit that newly born state into the family of nation. That is the public international law. So here, what this constitutive theory talks about here is the state will come into existence only when it has been recognized by the other states. So this is the argument of the constitutive theory. And another theory that will come is that is declarative theory. And this declarative theory says that if there is all the essentials of statehood, or whether there is no essentials of statehood, if there is a newly born entity, then recognition, that is the formal recognition by the other state, is just the mere question of fact. The state will continue to have its existence whether it has been recognized by the other states or no. So this is the declarative theory. Declarative theory ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತ್ರಿ, ಇದು ನೀವು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಡ್ರಿ, ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವಿ, ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ದಾಗ ಇರಾವ್ರನ ನಮ್ ಕಡೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಹುಡ್ ಇರ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಇರ್ದೇ ಇರ್ಲಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು, ಲೈಕ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್, ಟೆರಿಟರಿ, ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಇವೇನ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಇರ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಡ್ಲಿ, ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲಾಸ್ ದಾಗ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗ್ತೀವಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗ್ತದ. ಬಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತದ, ನೀನು ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಾಗ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿನ್ ಹತ್ರ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಆಫ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ a statehood, and then it is to be accepted, it is to be admitted by all the political country or community to the family of the international law. ಅಂದ್ರಷ್ಟ ಅದೇನಾಗ್ತದ, ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತದ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಪ್ರಪೌಂಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಓಪನ್ಹ್ಯಾಮ್, ಹೆಗಲ್ and Ancelotti, and according to this theory, state will be considered as an international person when it is only been recognized by other sovereign persons. So here, when a state wants to become an international person, it has to be the process of the recognition, and this recognition should be done by the all other member parties of United Nations. So even if the state possesses all the characteristics of the statehood, the state will not be called as state unless it has been recognized by the existing states. ನಿಮ್ ಕಡೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವ್ದ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ ನಿಮ್ ಕಡೆ ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಇದನ್ನ ಅದರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ another theory comes, and this theory is being propounded by Wagner, Hall, Fisher and Brearley. ಇವೆರಡೂ theories no, they are very confusing. Whenever we talk about theories, you have to clear cut, you have to memorize them as to who have propounded this theory. Consecutive theory has been propounded by Oppenheim, Hegel and Ancelotti, and declarative theory has been propounded by Wagner, Hall, Fisher and Brearley. Okay, so this theory clearly rejects the constitutive theory, and this theory has been laid down in Article 3 of Montevideo Conference 1993, and it says that a new state is independent irrespective of the consent of all the other existing states. ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕ ನನ್ ಮಂದಿ ಗುರುತಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 3 ಆಫ್ ಮಾಂಟೆವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ 1993 ದಾಗ ಇದನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರು, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಬರೆದ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಸೇಸ್ ದಟ್ state will become state if it comes into existence, whether it is satisfying all the essentials of statehood or whether it is not satisfying all the essentials of statehood. Recognition by the other state is not important in declaratory theory. What is important here is they have to announce themselves, they have to announce that they are in existence, okay, because they are newly emerged state and they have to announce it. So this announcing process can also be two ways. The one is explicit, that is by words, and the other one is implicit, that is by their conduct. Okay, so declaratory theory talks about it does not depend upon the recognition because it is already existent. Whether you recognize it under the international law or no, the state is already existent. So even before the recognition by the other state, even if it had the right to defend its integrity and independence. So it says that ನನಗೆ ಯಾರು ನೀವು ರಿಕಾಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ನನ್ನ ದೇಶ ನಂದು ಏಕತೆ ಏನಿರ್ತದ ಅದನ್ನ ನನ್ನ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯವನ್ನ ನಾನು ಡಿಫೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಫಿಶಿಯಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಈ ಥಿಯೋರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತದ. and it says that formal acknowledgement of other state is just the question of fact, and it is just the formal no rule that is carried out under the public international law. Without that also they can exist, and it is true also, without that also they can exist. But the thing is, their rights and duties will not be recognized under the public international law. So for this, for constitutive theory, we have some example here. Say for example, Poland and Slovenia were recognized by the instrumentality of Treaty of Versailles. So what is constitutive theory? Constitutive theory is nothing but it says that one state should recognize the other state. So here the example is Poland and Czechoslovakia. These are the two countries. They have been recognized by the Treaty of Versailles. And here Germany was also divided into two parts by the World War II treaty. And here another country, that is Korea, was also divided into two parts by a treaty. So Korea was divided into two parts. The first one is South Korea and the second one is North Korea. There was only one Korea before recognition of the two parts of Korea, and after that both the parts of Korea have been recognized by a treaty. So these are the formal acknowledgement under the public international law with these three examples. ಈ ತ್ರೀ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ನೋಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಥಿಯರಿಯನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತದ, ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟು ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದು ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಹೇಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು? ಇಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ವರ್ಡ್, ಇಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್, ಇಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಟ್ರೀಟಿ. ಅದ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಮೆಥಡ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Okay, so declaratory theory, one example nododandra, Taiwan is a democratic country, and it is no have a relationship with the Chinese because its territories are linked, and only few countries have recognized Taiwan, but it is still continuing its business with the international law. It will enter into dealings with international law, announcing by itself that it is also one of the country, or it is announcing itself that it is also one of the state. Very few states have recognized Taiwan as a democratic country, but it will continue to give on introduction about itself, and it is continue to have its dealings under the public international law. Hope I am clear for you all now. Students, 24 students are there now. At least one or two can unmute and they can speak on behalf of all your friends. Is it clear or no? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, explanation ಕನ್ನಡದಾಗ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ನಂಗೆ ಆಗ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಏನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವೋ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಾಗ ಹೇಳೀನಿ. ದ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮೀ ದೆನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ. ಅದು ಬೈ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತದ, ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮೀ ದೇರ್. ಎಸ್, ಸೊ ಎಸ್
ಮೇಡಮ್, ಇದು ಕನ್ನಡ ಬುಕ್ ಒಳಗ್ರಿ ಇದು ಮಾನ್ಯತೆ ರಿಕಗ್ನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಐತಲ್ರಿ ಮೇಡಮ್?
ಹಾ,
ಇದು ಕನ್ನಡ ಬುಕ್ ಒಳಗ್ ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳುದೆಲ್ಲ ಪೂರಾ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ರೀ. ಅದು
ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಗೂಗಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಹಾಕೋರಿ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಹಾಕೋರಿ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತದ. ಅಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಕತೆ ಬರೀ ಬುಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಫುಲ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್. ಹಿಂಗಿರ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ ನಿಮ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಅದೇನು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ಸು ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಕ್ ನಮಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ನಾಗ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದ ಬರೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು, ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಅದರ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್. ಬಟ್ ನಿಮಗ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾವು, ನಮಗ್ ಇವು ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರ ಇದನ್ನ ಕನ್ನಡದಾಗ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಆಪ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವ್ರಿ. ಅದ್ರೊಳಗ ಈಗ ನಾ ಏನಿದ್ PDF ಬಿಡ್ತೇನಲ್ಲ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್, ಅವಾಗ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಟು ವರ್ಡ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದ.
ಓಕೆ
ನಿಮಗ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಶಾಪಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ರಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರ ನಿಮಗ. ಪೆನ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ದಾಗ ಹಾಕೊಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೋ. ಎಸ್ ಓಕೆ ಎಸ್. ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮೊದಲ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವು, ಕನ್ನಡ ಅಂದ್ರ ಬ್ಯಾರೆ, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಂದ್ರ ಬ್ಯಾರೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸಿಗ. ಬಟ್ ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟದ. ಇವನ್ ಯು ನೋ ಮೋರ್ ದೆನ್ ಮೀ. ಲೈಕ್ ಇನ್ನ ನನಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ರಿ ಅವ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವು ಏನೋ ಆಪ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರ, ಇವ್ ಅದಾವ್ರಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ನಾವ್ ಇದ್ರಾಗ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಬಿಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಇವನ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗ್ರೋನ್ ಅಪ್ during this pandemic, so we expect that you can do it for yourself. Okay, yes. ಈಗ ಡಿಕ್ಲರೇಟರಿ ಥಿಯರಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಏನ್ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಡಿಸ್ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಸಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಕ್ರಿಟಿಸಿಸಮ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ and it is a diplomatic act, but it is not a legal act. Nowhere it is been said that all the this member parties to the United Nations have to recognize the particular state. Okay, it is a political act. If they want, they will carry out, otherwise the states will continue to exist under the public international law, as it has happened with the Taiwan. Okay, and this theory imposes an obligation to all the member states that they have to recognize the particular state. But no, but if states are independent, if states have announced themselves that they are sovereign, then how you can put a restriction on all the member states that you have to recognize it? Like, who is telling this, and why they have to accept it? Because all states under the public international law, they have announced themselves that they are sovereign or dependent states in one aspect or the other aspect. Then why they have to listen to the other state? This can also be one of the criticism. And this is a political act and diplomatic act, but nowhere it is been written. But when we come to declaratory theory, this declaratory theory has been given in Article 3 of Montevideo Convention 1933. Okay, so here if other states are not recognizing you, then you can tell whatever qualities you have, whatever elements you have, you can announce yourself under the public international law. That is declaratory theory. And when we come to the criticism of declaratory theory, when state can announce itself that it is also a state, then at one point of time it is also failing to explain the legal rights of the recognized state, because it is having sometime all the elements of statehood, and sometimes it does not have no the elements of statehood, but still it is announcing itself that it is a state ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ತಾನೇ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಕಡೆ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೇನೋ ಫರಕ್ ಬೀಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಅದೇನಾಗ್ತದ, ಈಗ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಟೆರಿಟರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರ ಲೀಗಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಏನದ, ಆ ದೇಶದೊಳಗೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಜನರ ಲೀಗಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಏನದ, ಆ ದೇಶದ ಲೀಗಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಏನದ, ಅದನ್ನದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದ, ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಸಿಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಡಿಕ್ಲರೇಟರಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಥಿಯರಿ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವು, ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ವು. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಅ ಗ್ಲಾನ್ಸ್, ವೇಟ್. Yes, so here what all things we have seen. Here we have seen the recognition, what is recognition, how it has been recognized, and what are the types of recognition. We have seen only in this slide. Il ಒಂದೊಂದು paragraph ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ, ಒಂದೊಂದು information ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟದ. In the next slide we have seen the meaning of recognition under the international law, what is importance of recognition of international law, and what are the legal effects, like once it's rights been recognized, what are the rights that flow under the international law, and after that, how the recognition process will carried out, the types of recognition and examples of recognition, that is the real case that I have explained, Saudi Arabia and United Nations Arabs case, and theories of recognition, constitutive, declaratory or evidentiary theory, the difference between the two, comparison between the two, exponents of this theory, and criticisms of this theory. So these all things we have seen, and now I will going to explain about the types of recognition of a state. So especially the types of recognition ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಟೈಪ್ಸಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೇವ್ರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಏನೈತಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟು, ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಇವ ಎರಡು ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ನಮ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲಾಸ್ದಾಗ ಇರುದು. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಹಿಯರ್ I will call this as a mode of the recognition of a state, modes of the expression of recognition of a state ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಅಂದ್ರ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿದ್ರ ಯಾವ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ನಾಗ ನೀವು ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, modes of recognition of a states. Okay, so here the first mode is the express recognition, the second one is implicit recognition, the third one is collective recognition, and the fourth one is premature recognition. Okay, so here the first express recognition ದಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ, here the existing state or the newly existing state will announce itself that it has already existed. ಇದೇನದ ಡಿಕ್ಲರೇಟರಿ ಥಿಯೋರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತದ, ರೈಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಥಿಯೋರಿಯನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರ್ತಾವೋ ಅವ್ರೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನ್ಯೂಲಿ ಬಾರ್ನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅವರು ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದ. ಸೊ ಎಟ್ that time what method they have to follow, whether they can go by notification, whether they can go by declaration, or whether they can go by diplomatic letter, notes, statements, telegram, these all methods are permissible under the express recognition, right? So in express recognition we follow constitutive theory, wherein one state has to recognize the other state. When one state is recognizing the other state, in what mode they have to recognize, that has been discussed under the express recognition. ಇಲ್ಲಿ express recognition ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಾವೇನ್ ನೋಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಲೆಟರ್ ಹೆಡ್ಸು, ನೋಟ್ಸು, ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸು, ಟೆಲಿಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸು, ಆರ್ ಟ್ರೀಟೀಸು, ಡಿಕ್ಲರೇಷನ್ಸು, ನೋಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ಸು, these all things will play an important role. Express recognition ಅಂದ್ರೆ the recognition which will be given in written words or it is through the spoken words. Anything will be included under the express recognition. So example for this is a statement of see here the French president will going to recognize the Algeria ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಯನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, 1963 ದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ರಿಕಾಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೇನ್ ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಲೆಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅದೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಬಟ್ ಯಾವುದು ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಒಳಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ that they recognize Algeria in the year 1963 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. Say for example another format of express recognition is that is the treaty, and Japan will recognize Korea via Article 12 of Peace Treaty in the year 1951, 8th September. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಪಾನು ಕೂಡ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ, ಕೊರಿಯಾ ಅನ್ನುವಂತ ನ್ಯೂಲಿ ಬಾರ್ನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ನ ಅದು ರಿಕಾಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಪಾನ್ ಕೊರಿಯಾನ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯದ ಅಂದ್ರ, ಇಲ್ಲದು ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಟ್ರೀಟಿದ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಅದು ತಗೋತದ. ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 12 ಆಫ್ ಪೀಸ್ ಟ್ರೀಟಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಇಯರ್ 1951 gives evidence that Japan has been recognized Korea, it has recognized Korea through the international treaty ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. Okay, so another recognition is it is implicit recognition. So here the states will not going to provide any statement, any kind of written statement, any they will not going to enter into any kind of treaty, argument, statement, or any kind of written modes. But here, nor they will going to announce it expressly by providing a statement in the public international law that they are recognizing this particular state, but they will carry out some other method to recognize a particular country or a state under the public international law. The first mode is that you will going to send your diplomatic agent to the other country, or sometime you have an conversation with the head of the newly born state. Sometime you make an agreement with that state that I will supply this and you supply me this back. So any kind of agreement, it can be the agreement for food grains, it can be the agreement with regard to the borders, or it can be any kind of economic or political help. So they make an agreement with each other. So this is an implied format of recognizing the particular state. So here also we have one of the example, that is Prime Minister of Israel, that is Shimon Peres. He has visited the Morocco, and he had a talk with King Hassan II with regard to Middle East problem. So Middle East ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದ್ರಿ, ಇದು ಮೆಡಿಟರೇನಿಯನ್, ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆಡಿಟರೇನಿಯನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಅಲ್ಲೇನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಇದು ಮಿಡಲ್ ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದ್ದು ಮೆಡಿಟರೇನಿಯನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಈಸ್ಟ್ ನಡುವೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಿಮೋನ್ ಪರೇಸ್, he had a talk with King Hassan II. ಸೊ ಇದೇನದ, ಇದು ನೀವು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರ ಏನಾಯ್ತಿದು, this is another kind of recognition, that is implicit recognition. Collective recognition. So collective recognition ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? So here ಇಲ್ಲಿ collective recognition ಅಲ್ಲಿ you will follow multilateral treaties, or you will follow multilateral conferences, or you will follow any kind of the public gatherings under the public international law. Say for example, the resolutions that have been taken place under the General Assembly, right? So these all things you will be selected by some of the states to recognize the newly born state. So it can be the international treaty, it can be the multilateral conference, or it can be anything. So here that the example that I have quoted here is Asian countries ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. And here what I have written is 5 Asian countries have recognized Cambodia. So Asian countries ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ, it is a group of 10 countries. Okay, Southeast Asian countries ಏನಿರ್ತಾವು 10 countries ಇರ್ತಾವು. And 10 countries ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಬರ್ತಾವಂದ್ರ ಬ್ರುನೈ, ಕೆಂಬೋಡಿಯಾ, ಇಂಡೋನೇಷಿಯಾ, ಲಾವೋಸ್, ಮಲೇಷಿಯಾ, ಮಯನ್ಮಾರ್, ಫಿಲಿಪೈನ್ಸ್, ಸಿಂಗಾಪುರ್, ಥೈಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿಯೆಟ್ನಾಂ. ಸೊ ಇವೆಲ್ಲಾ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾವು, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಸೌತ್ ಏಷ್ಯನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏಷ್ಯನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇನ್ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರೊಳಗ 5 ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್, 5 ಸೌತ್ ಏಷ್ಯನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಂಬೋಡಿಯಾನೋ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ರಿಕಾಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ. ಸಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ 10 countries, and while having the meeting, 5 countries will recognize Cambodia. This is neither the express recognition nor it is the implied recognition, right? So express ಒಳಗ ನೀವು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ರಿಟನ್ ಓರಲ್ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಇಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಒಳಗ ನೀವು ಬರೀ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಡಿಪ್ಲೊಮ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಕಳ್ಸೋದು, ನಿಮ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಕೌಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ, ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಒಳಗ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಲಿ ಬಾರ್ನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ recognition. And the fourth one is premature recognition. And premature recognition is given to those states which does not have complete constitutive components. ಅಂದ್ರ ಇವ್ರ ಕಡೆ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಟೆರಿಟರಿ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೂ ಅದು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದ್ರೂನು ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನೋ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಸೊ ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ಇಂಥವ್ ಯಾವರ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದು ಅಂದ್ರ ಅಂತವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವ್ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೇವೆ ಪ್ರೀ ಮ್ಯಾಚೂರ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಪ್ರೀ ಮ್ಯಾಚೂರ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಇದೇನದ ಇದು ಡಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೋ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಮುಂದಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನ್ ನೋಡ್ತೇವೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಡಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೋ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಅಂದ್ರ ದಿಸ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಹುಡ್ ಏನದಾವು ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಅವಿನ್ನು ಯೆಟ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಪ್ರೂವ್ಡ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಹುಡ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಟೆರಿಟರಿ, ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಟೆರಿಟೋರಿಯಲ್ ಬಾರ್ಡರ್ಸ್, ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, they are still need to be proved in front of the public international law. ಅಂತವ್ದಕ್ ನಾವ್ ಯಾವ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೀ ಮ್ಯಾಚೂರ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಅಂತೇವೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೇವೆ? ಡಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೋ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಇನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ನಾವು ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಅಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ ನಮಗ್ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲಾ, ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ನಿಮಗ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದೇನದ ಅದು ಡಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೋ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಅದ, ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರೀ ಮ್ಯಾಚೂರ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಪ್ಯಾಲೆಸ್ಟೀನಿಯನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದರದ್ದು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ, ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ಯಾಲೆಸ್ಟೀನಿಯನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಈಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಮೆಡಿಟರೇನಿಯನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ ವಿತ್ ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇನಾಗ್ತದ ಪ್ಯಾಲೆಸ್ಟೀನಿಯನ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಬರ್ತದ ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್ ಹತ್ರ. ಬಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾಲೆಸ್ಟೀನಿಯನ್ ದಲ್ಲಿನೂ ನಾವ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಯು ಎಸ್ ಎ ದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತೇವಲ್ಲ, ಎನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡಿ ಒಂದು ಯು ಎಸ್ ಎ ಆಗ್ಯದ, ಯುನೈಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಮೆರಿಕಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದು ಅಂದ್ರ ಆ ಎನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ದೇ ಶುಡ್ ಪ್ರೂವ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಹುಡ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಪ್ರೀ ಮ್ಯಾಚೂರ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ಯಾಲೆಸ್ಟೀನಿಯನ್ ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ that can be premature recognition. Why? Because they haven't clear about the constitution, territorial borders, the type of government. So it's because of that some of the newly born states of Palestinian have been given premature recognition. Okay, so illenada ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೋಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಮುಗಿತದ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೇವೆ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೋ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್, ಡಿ ಜೂರೆ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್, ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೆಲಿಗರೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಕಾಗ್ನಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲಿಬರೇಷನ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ಸರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೆಲಿಗರೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬರ್ತಾವು. ಸೊ ಅದ್ ಇನ್ಸರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಬೆಲಿಗರೆನ್ಸಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದ ರೀ, ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದ. ನಿಮಗ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಮೀ ಅಂಡ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಫೈ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ಏನಿತ್ತು ನಾನು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಪೂರಾ ನಿಮಗ್ ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಯು ಸಫಿಶಿಯಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್. ಇನ್ನೇನದ ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನನಗ್ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತದ. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ನಿಮಗ್ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ನಾ ಹೇಳಿದ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರ ನೋ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಮೀ ಫಾರ್ ರಿಪಿಟೇಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇದು ನಾವು ನಾಳೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಒಳಗ್ ನೋಡೋಣ್ರಿ. Okay, so what are the real types of recognition under the public international law, that we will see in the next class. Okay, if you have any doubts then you can ask me. ಏನರ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. Otherwise I will end the meet and we will meet by 12. Okay, in the webinar. The link of that I have already shared.
Madam.
Yes.
Madam, from exam point of view, this topic is very important.
Very, very important. This is the very important topic in unit number 2, recognition. Types of recognition, modes of recognition, explain recognition and significance of recognition with some examples. These are the important questions. See, if it is not important, you understand that I will not tell that in the class. If I'm telling something in the class means that is very important from the examination point of view. Sometime I will tell you that the chances of this question will be 50-50 or 30-70, like that I will tell you. But this is 100% important topic from the examination point of view. Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, what about case laws?
Sorry.
Case laws.
case
Please,
law in recognition chapter, if there are cases, then another time I will search for it in another book. But sometime if case laws are not there, you can proceed with examples that I have already quoted.
okay, ma'am.
Okay, if you want to write the same examples, you can go through it. These are trusted and these are exact and authenticated by me, being a lecturer. Or if you don't want to quote these examples, then you can go with the other examples which are abundantly available in your textbook. See, in public international law, I think in the custom and international treaties, general principles of law, and the General Assembly. In these topics, we have n number of cases like habeas, that is Lotus case, Habana case, Packet Habana case. So these all things we have already learned. But in this chapter, I hope so there are no cases. But if cases are there, I will try to include them it in the next class. But now, though, I have done with the examples. Okay, if case laws are not there, you can quote the examples. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, madam.
Yes. So now I'm ending the class. You take a rest, you do all your work, and then get back to 12 o'clock. That is very important, and you all have to join that to understand what is the judicial process and what is evidence under the judiciary. Okay. Though it is not a subject, evidence is a subject for you all. Evidence is a subject. Are you learning this semester?
No.
No. Okay, but still for your information that you have to join it. Okay, just listen to it, what's there in that. Okay, yeah. Thank you, students.
Thank you, ma'am.